Sutam Devam Kamshachanuramardhanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Bande Jagadgurum. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. I salute Bhagavan Sri Krishna, the son of Vasudeva, the destroyer of the demons, Kamsa and Chanura, the most loving darling of Mother Devaki, and the Guru and the teacher of the world. We salute him again and again. Om, peace, peace, peace. So we are reading today from the Bhagavat. We start on chapter 25 of the book number 3, verse number 1. 3.25.1 on page 255. Here, the Kopila Upadesha, that is the Upadesha advice, one of the greatest advice of the Lord Kopila. Kopila is the incarnation of Vishnu, Narayana. So Kopila, and he's talking about nature of bhakti. So let us see what is going on here. The Saunaka, the sage Saunaka, Devahuti's question to Kopila. Kopila, the sage, the founder of the Sankhya philosophy, Kopila, and also called the first incarnation. So in order to reveal the knowledge of the Atman to men, the Lord, that is the Bhagavan, though in himself birthless, embodied himself by the power of his own Maya as Kopila. Who is Kopila? The propounder of the doctrine of Sankhya, or the philosophy of the knowledge of Purusha and Prakriti. So, in order to reveal the knowledge of Atman to the main purpose of avatars coming is always the same. Why avatar comes? Just to give the knowledge of the self, Brahman, Atman, the reality, God. Reveal the knowledge of the Atman to people, men, means the world. The Lord is who? Always it is said, though in himself birthless, God has no birth, no question of death. God is, but still he is the infinite Lord. He himself embodied himself by the power of his own Maya. And that is Kopila. That's always Bhagavan Krishna is the embodiment of Satchidananda. Rama is what? Shuddha Brahma Paratpara Ram. Rama is the Shuddha Brahman, pure Brahman, the beyond duality, Paratpara Ram. And then he becomes Kalatmaka Parameshwara Ram. The time, he binds himself into the time and becomes a Dasharatha Nandana Ram, the King Ram. So Kapila is like that. Who is the propounder of the Sankhya philosophy, you can say. Or what is Sankhya philosophy? Sankhya philosophy means the essence is the knowledge of Purusha and Prakriti. He said this whole universe, you will be free. You are entangled into bondage because Purusha and Prakriti get mixed up. If you can separate out, Purusha is separate, Prakriti is separate. Prakriti is jada, Purusha is the consciousness. If this association makes it appear all this reaction going on, and the world is 24 cosmic principles. This whole world is nothing but the expression of the 24 cosmic principles. What are 24 cosmic principles? 5 Gyanendriyas, 5 Karmendriyas, 5 material elements, and 5 subtle elements. Gross element, now, this air, water, fire, earth, we are only the combination, permutation. This body is nothing but the expression of the 5 elements. air, water drinking, earth, rice, dal, they are coming from the earth. So like that, air, water, fire, and Kiti of Tejmodudbam. These are the 5 space. I am taking a space, the body takes a space. So this is the gross. But when you see in the dream, what you see? You see there is also you have a body. And there also you have eyes, ears, all these things. No? So, but how it is formed up? They are formed because of the subtle elements. There we drink water, but subtle water, not this gross water. We breathe the air there, in the dream body. Suppose you are sleeping in your body, you breathe through this gross body is breathing the gross air. But in the dream body also, you are panting for breath and something like that. There is some air also. That's the subtle body. Subtle water, subtle body, subtle fire, subtle space, all subtle. So 5, 4, 24, and 4 others are what? Mano, buddhi, chitta, ahankara. Or they call sometimes 17 elements. So this is jada, but they all become so much strong, active. This hand, feet, these are all jada, matter. Dead body and this body, only you put prana. Somebody dead, and suddenly everyone rejoices, oh, he has come back to life again. Then this is body, is jada, matter. Unless prana, the life force, adds to it as a part of consciousness, this is dead body. So everything is become active because of the proximity of the consciousness, Purusha, Prakriti. The heat of the oven plus the all jada, the pot, the water, the rice, the potatoes, the vegetables, all remain like that. No heat. You have not put the oven on and put everything and go away. Will it be a khichdi? Will it be a rice? Nothing will happen. It will remain like that. Dead body, and this is, fire is somewhere else, and this is here. It will remain. So this is the Sankhya, is the dualistic philosophy, where it says Purusha and Prakriti, they should combine together. You put the heat under the oven, and that heat percolates through the pot, enters into the water, and to the rice, and to the potato, and you put your finger burns. You say, oh, the water has burned me. Water cannot burn you. Heat has burned. Where the heat got? From the consciousness. This body is hot. Where the consciousness you get? Because the heat behind. That is the philosophy of Sankhya, mainly in very nutshell. So, this is the philosophy. Propounder is Kapila, or you can the philosophy of knowledge of Purusha and Prakriti. We have no knowledge that there is a conscious entity and there is a material matter. Matter and consciousness, they are 2 different subjects, eternally existing. That is according to Sankhya. They are there, matter is there, and consciousness is there. When they get close proximity, and then creation starts. And if you know it is separate, I am not the matter, I am the consciousness, then you are free. So that is his philosophy. Now, indeed, Sanaka said, indeed my soul is never satiated by hearing ever so much of this great man. We are talking about Kapila. I have heard so much about Kapila, but my heart is still asking to know more of the greatness of this Kapila, the most noted among the yogis. The more you hear of him, the more he shines in the glory. Whatever the Lord in his absolute freedom performed by the power of his Maya, of those praiseworthy deeds, do thou speak unto me. So the Saunaka is saying, please tell me the story of this Kapila, who is the propounder of the Sankhya philosophy, and who has actually created this, come to redeem the wisdom, the knowledge of the self to the human being for the good of the world. So please tell me, I have heard enough, I want to hear more. Now Sutta is the intermediary in between who is relating this old story. He said, being pleased with this request for the instruction on the science of spirit, the sage Maitreya, the friend of Vyasa's friend Maitreya, said, what he said? As follows to Vidura. Then Maitreya said, what Maitreya said? After his father's departure to the forest, then Bhagavan Kapila, father was who? Kardama, no? The sage Kardama. And mother was who? Devahuti. So when the father now left for renouncing in the fourth stage to sannyasa, then the Bhagavan Kapila, in order to please his mother, continued to stay for some time in the hermitage on the bank of Bindu Saras. So then Kapila, just to please the mother, so stayed with the mother there itself, and father left, become a monk. During that time, remembering the words of Brahma, Devahuti, the mother of Kapila, said one day to her son Kapila, talked to the Kapila, who had renounced all ritualistic karma, as become a teacher of the truth of science of the spirit. So he said, Devahuti said, O Lord, to whom he is saying? To Kapila. He is saying he to son. His own son is no more son. He is thinking he is Lord. He has and addressing, mother addressing the child. Oh God, oh God, oh God. No? There is also the Krishna when he was born. We find that there is that father praised the baby. Oh Lord, you are the world. What beautiful prayers of father, beautiful prayer of mother is also there in the Bhagavatam. We may read sometime maybe.
But that baby was exchanged in case of Krishna, right? That Vasudeva took the baby out and then they got the baby girl back.
No, that is afterwards. But before that, when he was just born.
But he didn't praise that baby girl, only the baby boy.
That's okay. They got the baby girl. True. But they praise Krishna. If you read the Bhagavad, that place 10th chapter, we'll read when we go to the 10th chapter, then he said that it is Krishna. They are praising the, oh Lord, Lord, Lord. Mahamaya is not praised. In the body of Mahamaya, Krishna appeared, maybe, God knows. And it is darshan, it is a darshan.
The exchanged baby was the Jogumaya herself, Divine Mother.
Yeah, that was afterwards.
But no praise for them.
But I think Mahamaya is not praised. Mahamaya doing everything. Mahamaya is not praised. Male-dominated society. They all go for the praising Narayana. Who is, how much they are talking about Lakshmi. See, we don't hear much of the Lakshmi. Anyhow, that is the way he appeared as Narayana. I was in the vision of mom and dad. When the baby was born, the Narayana appeared. And that's why they praised. And then he instructed, take me to the Nanda's house. That girl then told, take me. Mahamaya showed the form of Narayana. And then Ma and the dad both are overwhelmed with the vision. And so, anyhow, Devahuti said then, O Lord, I have been in the darkness of gross infatuation, as it says, and utter helplessness, owing to the pull of the senses. I am all attracted to these eyes, ear, nose, all the five senses are pulling me down, so I am in that condition. I am now comparatively free from such longings. I don't long for all these things, sensate universe. By the grace, by thy grace, that means, O Lord, your grace, I seem to have reached the end of my cycle of worldly existence. Devahuti's mother says, my life cycle is all ending, I will be released from all bondage now, it is my last birth. By the grace, I seem to have reached the end of my cycle of worldly existence, as I have got in you a guide, an excellent eye that can help me penetrate this dark barrier of infatuation. So I got a new light. The sensate universe which attracts, it is no more attraction for me because your grace, you have given me this eye, new vision. You are the Lord and origin of all beings. You have yourself now appeared as the enlightener of the world, which is overcome by darkness of blinding ignorance. Even as the sun rises in the firmament, driving away the gloom of the night. Example, when the early morning the sun comes up, what happens? The darkness of the whole night, no? A crimson color of the light comes up. Sunrise, think of the sunrise. As it drives away the darkness, similarly, my ignorance is getting out. I am feeling the freedom from ignorance. O Lord, it befits you now to efface from me this infatuation caused by the sense of identification with the body. Whatever, we are always connected with the body. I am the body, that is the cause of our all suffering. So he is telling, oh Lord, now you remove this last trace of touch, infatuation with the body, which makes me feel that I am this body. This body is mine. And an infatuation you yourself have imposed on all the living beings. It is your Maya. Why you are bound? You have given this infatuation, thinking that, oh, I. Everyone knows I means this one. Everyone knows which is connected with me is mine. So you have given, oh Lord, oh Kapila, actually you are Narayana. So you have given this. So help me, teach me. So he has imposed on all. I seek shelter in you, a fitting master, for those who want shelter, as your veritable axe that cuts the tree of samsara for your servant. So you are, Ramakrishna has said that, Sangshayo Rakshasa Nasha Maha Astram. It is a great weapon. O Ramakrishna, you are the great weapon, Maha Astram, to destroy what? Sangshayo. Rakshasa, the demon, the Rakshasa of doubt. Is God there? Am I this only? Or is there reality? This doubt. Even many people have a little glimpse of the truth. The question of doubt comes. Is it that is true or this is true? So he says, I seek shelter at you, and you are the fitting teacher for those who take shelter. Who take shelter, you are the fitting guidance. As you are the veritable axe. What is the axe? Axe cuts the tree. What is the tree? Tree of samsara. The world and worldliness, that is the samsara. So to cut it, you need an axe. What is the axe? Your mantra. You do the mantra. When you think of God, that mantra brings the idea of God, no? So, oh Kapila, oh, you are the embodiment of Krishna. So you are actually like axe to cut the wild forest of this worldliness, tree of worldliness, for your servant. Prompted by my desire to be enlightened with regard to the nature of the Prakriti and Purusha, you are the propounder of Purusha and Prakriti, no? Kapila. So, I am a student to you now. So give me the wisdom. That's the point he's saying. The matter and spirit. So, prompted by my desire is this, to be enlightened. But what? With regard, enlightened about what? About the two things separate. Separation of the Prakriti and Purusha, that is the knowledge. I want to have that knowledge. And you are here. Teach me that knowledge. I take refuge in you. I salute you, the greatest among the knowers of the noble, saving truth. So, please tell me. So Maitreya says then, narrating, hearing the words of his mother, so meaningful and calculated to stimulate interest in the path of moksha, liberation, Kapila, the sole refuge of all spiritual seekers, spoke, his face beaming with a smile that approved fully of her words. So now Kapila, his own son, her own son, now giving advice to mother. See, this is a very funny story, no? The baby is giving advice to the mother. We always go to the mother to take advice. Babies go, but this is a funny thing. In spiritual life it happens. It is said, Guru, Briddha, Guru, Juba Guru, Briddha Shishya. Shankaracharya, say 13, 14, 15 years old, 8, 16. By that time he has finished all this writing books and etc. No? So, and who are the students? Students are the very old, 70, 80 people years old, sages with beard, matted law, or sitting at the feet of that baby, it's a child, Shankara. So, Guru, Shishya, Vriddha Shishya, Guru Juba. Guru is Juba. Guru is a young boy, it's a lad, teaching, giving the advice of Advaita Brahman, Vedanta to the elderly students. So here also, mother is saying, oh, you are God, you have this, I am in dark ignorance, like any student going to Guru says, same. To earn Vidya, you will have to be saying the same thing for, it's eternal language for all. Not now, this is in past, in future it will be like that. Because the man of wisdom, his body may be young, but his internal wisdom is so old, no? So that's why, because age does not count in spiritual life, but in inner age, internal age, spiritual age, that is counts.
But for modern days, for electronic gadgets, we are teaching our parents.
That's true. Why not? See, a young boy, maybe just going to 5th grade, he can teach many of our old-timers. Hey, do this, do that, do that. We do not know. They are our gurus. When we are in trouble with the phone and things, we go to the young children. Now, devotion, its genesis and growth. Now that is Kapila is in the response. Kapila is the guru now. The child has become Lord Narayana, and Narayana, the form of Kapila, is giving the advice to whom? To his own mother, who is becoming like a Shishya, the devoted child, the devoted student. Kapila said, what Kapila said? I shall expound to you that path of spiritual realization which leads to the ultimate good of men, wherein there is complete and irreversible abeyance of the pleasure and pain of the worldly existence. Now, I am going to give you so much praise. What Narayana will you do? Everyone wants praise. That's why we all want praise. The Lord Narayana being praised, Lord Narayana says, yes, okay, I am now happy, I will give you the wisdom. If you don't praise, you don't get it. That's why all these prayers, say in Catholic churches, in Hindu prayers, how many prayers are there? You are this, you are that, you are that. So being pleased with that, that means you are recognizing the greatness of the Lord. And you are really understanding you need His help to make yourself free from ignorance. So that is the purpose. And after praising, the Kapila said, that I shall expound to you. What I shall do? It is not one person. That will be the history. The people will follow that. And because Kapila was born and Kapila did this, that's why the following is going on still now. I shall expound you that path of spiritual realization which leads to the ultimate good of man, wherein there is complete and irreversible abeyance of the pleasure and pains of the worldly existence. Worldly existence is always a pair of pleasure and pain. But I will give this wisdom which will completely take away the ignorance and forever, never to come back. Good gurus can do that. There are different types of gurus. Ordinary gurus give mantra in the ear, and you do. Guru says it is yours. Now you have to do all these things. Powerful gurus, we give a touch, boom, saying Naren, Ramakrishna, touch, boom, and that's but gone. And not to do much. You say, hey, what is happening? Okay, it will be. So that touch can transform, give you the vision. So here he said, but it will be permanently, with this knowledge when you get, you will be permanently free from all duality. But Vedanta will say, no, this will not do. Because you are still keeping the idea of duality. One consciousness, another jada. But we have to go beyond. But it is true, when you realize that you are the consciousness, then that much difference what is there, it is not difficult task. You are almost reached the destination there. And with this full knowledge, your mind has become so pure, the rest of the thing will be natural, momentum will force you there. No? The ball is thrown, it hits somewhere. After hitting, the rest of the thing to go roll down few steps, it will do automatic. That's the example. The woodcutters, they chop the tree, they cut it 75% or 80%, and then they run away. Then the tree falls out of its own. Similarly, this Sankho, if you have really experienced this Sankho, that Purusha is separate from Prakriti in the depth, then that is such a knowledge of consciousness separating apparent material things, then that limiting, that gap which is there, that will be very easy to cross that. This yoga, which I preached in the ancient days to the rishis who were eager to hear it, the same yoga, perfect in all its limbs, I shall teach you now. So I will teach you what I have taught before. Always, the scripture always says like that. I did it before, Krishna did it in the Gita, I will tell you again now. And the sutta means the narrators, their function, they repeat again and again and again and again. The same experience, same truth. So that it sets in the mind. We are reading the book. What is the new thing every day you get? I am Atman, I am pure, I am not the body, I am not the mind, and I am the spirit. What else is there in the whole Vedanta? No? But we are doing that year after year after year. So it is a continuous practice like that. So God also says, I gave this lesson once, but I am giving you again. Yoga of perfect limbs. Oh, pure-minded lady. Why should you lady? You should say ma, anyhow. So 15th verse says, it is the view of wise men that the mind indeed is the cause of both bondage and liberation of embodied beings, no? It is the views of the wise men. Wise men of the world knows what has made you bound in the world? Your own mind. What is your mind? Your mind attached to the world and worldliness takes us to the bondage. And the same mind connected with the consciousness and absolute truth makes us free. Mind is the same. You touch this side or touch that side. Touch that, this side is bondage. Touch that side is freedom. Your Velcro. You put this side, it gets stuck with the other partner. And then it does bind. Your leg is bound. Now you have to free your leg, pull it on the other side. Other side, of course, they don't keep any glue. but freedom. Freedom comes from here. So the same thing, touching this side or that side. The same mind. Looking everywhere God, looking everywhere ugly. The same mind, so it is the purification of the mind. What is that? Yeah. In the Vedanta text, mana evo manushyanam karanam bandhamakshayo. The mind is the cause of your bondage. Mind itself is the cause of your freedom. What is mind? What mind is bounds? Vishaya asakta. That which is attached to the sense universe, sense objects. And that is the bondage, and which connects with the Lord, consciousness, God, that is freedom. If the mind is attached to the gunas of prakriti, here are two things. One is matter, another is consciousness. So your mind turns towards the prakriti, or the nature, 24 principles. Then you are worldly. Your mind says, oh, this is jada. What do I do with this matter? It is the lifeless material. Jada means what? It has no life. Touch of consciousness gives the life. So why I do not go to the root? Where is the consciousness? I go there. So that's why it says, when it is attached to the gunas or the prakriti and their products, it leads to bondage. Very simple. In the Kapila's philosophy, when the mind of a student goes and identifies with the 24 principles of matter, which are all jada, your car is sitting over there with so much of engine parts and this and that. No, it is dead. Sitting there, it cannot do anything. If you look at the matter, the car is meaningless. Now you sit as consciousness and start the engine and you operate it, no? Your mind is saying, I will start. And you start the engine and press this and press that, and the engine is started working. What is the glory of the engine? The engine cannot move anything without the driver. What is that? Driving is the consciousness. Adding consciousness to the engine makes the car run 100 miles, 60 miles, 80 miles in Autobahn road in Germany. No speed limit. Go how much you can go. But there is no driver. Of course now driverless. But driverless means someone gives the dictate. That should be there. You may say driverless, but there is a driver. He says, okay, I will go to this address. And they will go to the GPS and the car will start itself and take right, left and read the newspaper and the car is driving you. But you are there, your presence is necessary or to give some guidance or to dictate something. So who is dictating this jada world? And the jada world is functioning all, when our car engine works, how many parts are working inside? How many wheels, how many, all these gears and this and that, rotating one to the other, to the gas, fuel, this, that, burning here, rotating, the sap rotating, this, that. It's a big thing. This body is like that. It is all functioning. We do not know how it is functioning. Doctors do not know even. They are so much advanced, but they do not know how the engine is working. But some consciousness is touching now. If that consciousness driver goes out, stop, and it goes out, and the engine will stop. But a dead body, okay, give up. So this is the point, that when the gunas or the prakriti, it attached to the gunas of prakriti and their products, it leads to bondage. But when it begins to feel delight and attractive for the Lord, the Purusha, it leads in liberation. When the mind is freed from impurities of lust and greed, generated by the sense of I and mine, it attains to purity and rests in equanimity, being unaffected by pleasure or pain. No? When it connects with the consciousness side or Purusha side, then I and mine goes away. And this ignorance being gone, it attains a purity of the heart, and in rest, mind rests in equanimity. Then pleasure comes or pain comes, you are unaffected by that. Then the jiva, endowed with knowledge, renunciation and devotion, experiences in truth the Supreme Spirit, transcending nature. Then at this point what happens? When the mind touches the consciousness and bends towards the consciousness, I and mine, me and mine goes away, disconnects. Then the jiva, who is endowed with this knowledge, wisdom, renunciation and devotion, experiences in truth the Spirit, Supreme Spirit, transcending nature. So he goes beyond transcending the nature, he goes to the consciousness. He does not give the praise to the engine. He praises the consciousness. Very simple formula. We always praise the functional side, but who is functioning behind, we don't know. We enjoy all the things of our life. You go to entertainment industry, you go, so many people, fun and joy is going on. But we do not know who is the player, who is the designer, who is the producer. How many people go remember the name of the producer? They get involved into seeing the movie. Yesterday we saw. Can you tell the night time what we saw? Who is the producer? We don't care for that. We see what has happened and how the gentleman is, even the name you forget. Playing with the dolphin, putting the dolphin eye here and playing with the dolphin, going down deep and then sitting in, doing breathing. See, you remember all this. But who did this design behind to create this movie? We do not know him. That is the fun of everything in the created universe. Whose creation we don't care. We are happy with the creation. Thakur said that, why do you praise so much about God's glory? Oh God, you have produced your... So you go to God, not to this beauty and manifestation only. Our eyes are stuck. That's why I and mine, me and mine, the product of the 24 gunas, 24 gunas and its products. Products are infinite product. You know, you can permutation and combination with few things, you can do so many varieties. Permutation and combination, the shirt, the dress, how many designs are there? Cloth is cloth, cut this way, cut that way, put this way, cut here, then add something, another tappi. We call poor man's dress, but in this country that is called a very costly dress. Because you cut a new jean pant and cut it here, chop it here, that is then and hang it, little thread hanging, that's very costly. In India we think it is poor. But America, first thing you cut and it should hang like here and there, then it's very costly, very new design. And you put a tappi. Tappi means one patch. With another, we used to do that in poor countries, people, they have one pant and has become old and is usable, not much usable, so they bring some other patch of cloth and string it, no? But here, that is the design. That will cost $1,000 more. So this is the permutation and combination of the fundamental element. How many varieties may be there? Design means all different varieties with the fundamental few material. So all this universe, this jiva endowed with knowledge, renunciation and devotion, experiences in truth. What is in truth? This spirit, Supreme Spirit. And that Supreme Spirit is transcending the nature, Prakriti. Kevala, untouched by anything, eternal, self-effulgent, subtle, indivisible, and unconcerned, as well as Prakriti with all its binding power destroyed. So when the knowledge comes, you will be seeing only Kevala. That's the Sankhya term, Kevala. Kevala means onlyness. What will be the only? Only will be the consciousness. Then your attention will not go to the diversity. You see what Vedanta says, Kevala, it is oneness, the same truth. They are saying it will come if you are a genuine Sankhya philosopher, then you will practice that, you will reach the same goal. Maybe intellectually, philosophically, there is a little distance to let go to complete the Vedantic idea, but when total dejection will come for the 24 principles, renunciation, you renounce, you have least interest for that, because his sane person mind goes into the Purusha and withdrawn from all zero on the side of matter. Then what will happen? Your mind is totally charged with consciousness and love, and that gives total wipeout of the world and worldliness. So that is the idea, Prakriti, that is called the Kevala, and Kevala means untouched by anything, only that eternal, self-effulgent, subtle, indivisible, and unconcerned truth will remain. And as a result, as well as Prakriti with its binding power, they cannot bind you anymore. It is, to us, it binds. A child will be not understanding that boiling the potatoes. Mommy, the potato is jumping. Mommy knows the potato does not jump. Even he sees the jumping of the potato, is the consciousness that is doing it. So the knower of truth, Sankhya philosopher, will get this. No? For one aspiring to attain Brahman, there is no path more straight, safe and practical than that of loving devotion for the Supreme Lord, who is the soul of all. But how will you attain? You need to love God. Huh? See, they are talking about Sankhya philosophy, now they are talking about love. We always say, no, this path is different, that path is different. It is not like that. You cannot have that absorption in the consciousness unless you love him. Why your mind will go that direction? Our mind loves ice cream, that's why it goes to ice cream. Would it go the same intensity for God when you are meditating? Mind will suck into it, no? It is not, because I have some attachment there. So when it is gone, perfectly the mind will come on this side, and total freedom will happen by that. That is but that cannot happen without the love for the Supreme Lord. That's very important. Now, 20th verse is talking about a holy man. You need holy company. He is saying you need holy company. 20th verse on page 257. The wise say, in that intense attachment to the objects of the world is the cause of bondage for the soul. All the holy people in the world, all people who are aspiring for truth, they know holy company. Ramakrishna said, holy company, holy company, holy company. No? Sadhu Sangha, Sadhu Sangha, Sadhu Sangha. In the gospel, most of the emphasis has been given then. Sadhu Sangha is like Chaldhani Jal, meaning when people get drunk. In early days, probably India used to do that. They will put some water in the mouth of the drunk person. He is too much intoxicated, no? To break his intoxication, they used to rice water. Just put the rice in fresh bucket of water and feed that water, rice water, into the mouth of the intoxicated person. then his intoxication will always gradually come down. That's a belief. I do not know whether it happens or not. So that intoxication of worldliness will go away by feeding this association of the sadhus, holy people. Come to a holy company, then your mind will be holy, automatic. You go to the bad association, is unholy association, what happens? Our mind catches those vibrations and mind lives in that lower plane. You go to the holy person, your mind gets connected with that and it gets lifted. But that's why a holy man is one who is patient in all circumstances, who is full of fellow feeling, who is the friend of all, who looks upon none as enemy, who is overflowing with peace, who has virtue alone as his ornament, and who has a deep-rooted love for me, capital, characterized by a sense of inseparable intimacy. So, holy person is not easy. I am a holy person, I will wear a gerua and I am a holy person. No, that will not do. You have to have so many qualities. What is the holy person? So go to a holy person, check whether he is a holy or not. How? Take this list in your pocket and go and check. What are the checking points? First point is that person, holy man, is one who is patient in all circumstances. In level of patience, calmness, serenity of the mind is much greater than all of us. No? He does not get disturbed so easily. Sarat Maharaj, Swami Sarvadevananda, whatever happens, when in a boat, the boat is almost going to sink. The boatman is trying to hold the whole helmsman and all people are crying and weeping. And they're holding like that. And what Swami Sarvadevananda? He has a hubble bubble. He's smoking a hubble bubble. No tension. So people will think, what is this? This is the patience. He does not get disturbed. Even life-threatening situation. Well, everyone is crying. Because if now it sinks, everyone will have to swim in the water. And many people don't know to swim in good, normal water condition. And this turbulent water, what will happen? They will sink and die. So they are crying out of that. And at that point, when you take hubble bubble, smoke, relax mode. I am just enjoying my life as if nothing is there. I am finished my work, and he is having the hubble bubble. So that type of patience, one, quality one, patience, who is full of fellow feeling, who loves everyone, feeling for everyone's suffering, everyone's misery, he feels for them. Third, who is a friend of all. There is no rejection, there is no discrimination there. If it's a real sadhu, he will be that. He is a friend of all. Whoever comes, okay. Who looks upon none as enemy. Oh, I hate him, he is my enemy. He is to be removed from here. He is to be... That type of feeling will not be there in their mind. Not one quality, don't take one quality. You add all the qualities together and try to see in one. Where holiness generates, these qualities will generate in that person. This is a very important point. We are all holy people. But when we shall be holy? When these characteristics will manifest in us more and more and more, and it reaches its optimal level. Who is overflowing with peace. Overflowing with peace. The language are very deep. We can read holy person, but his peace is as if so much overflowing. Mother says, people say so much suffering in the world. I never felt what is called suffering. My child, I never felt any suffering. My heart is a pitcher full of joy. Pitcher full of joy is full to the brim in the heart. No? Mother used to feel. That is the holiness. So much peace, overflowing peace. Nothing from outside can destroy the inner sanctity. Who has virtue alone as his ornament. He does not use other ornaments, gold, jewel, anything, but his virtue, truthfulness, honesty, sincerity, love, grace, and who has a deep-rooted love for me. And main thing, he has a deep-rooted love for me, not superficial, but he loves me, God, the Absolute, who is the only reality there. Characterized by the sense of inseparable intimacy. Special characteristic, he has so much intimacy with me, deep connection with me only, God only. That means a holy person will be totally identified with God and God only. So these are called holy. And Vaishnava literature says, who is a holy man? Jahare herile hriday sphure Krishna Nam. Tahare janiyo tumi Vaishnava pradhan. You know him a holy man. How to recognize a holy man? Recognize a holy man, you come to a holy man, in his presence, you can feel that you are Krishna Nam. You think like loving God. You will feel like, let me go and meditate. Let me sit for japa. Let me be more praying to him. Let me feel the touch of God. That inspiration, that will come. It's very... Where you can get inspiration unless that person himself has such inner urge for God and love for God. So this is very important. Character is the sense of inseparable intimacy with God. That's it. He cannot separate himself from God, and mind is totally tuned to God. So other characteristics even may be fake. In the disturbance, those are very big scoundrels. You see their face does not appear. They are so trained that they don't get disturbed easily. They are planning that time what to do next. Even in that point of trouble. From outside, even though he was a holy man, I used to think like that, no? When, what is that? The Twin Tower. Who did that? Osama bin. Have you seen his photograph? When I saw, it is so peaceful, so serene. But how can he do that? These other characteristics are not matching. I understand. He may be holy man, but holy man in one condition is not. All these conditions should be.
The people around me, I see, majority of them, they have all these qualities, package of these qualities. Now, the more the percentage is, the better closer to the sadhu one. So what is the cut-off percentage?
What is that? What is the question?
So the people around me, I don't meet like
Acha,
regularly. So majority people around me, they have all these qualities.
All these qualities, patient,
Yeah.
patient.
5% patience.
Oh,
like that.
not 10% patient.
Yeah. So now that is my question. Now, everybody has this combination of qualities, but the higher the degree, the better sadhu.
Better sadhu, yeah.
So my question is, what is the cut-off percentage that above which it will be sadhu, below which non-sadhu?
Now we are no one is sadhu. Sadhu will be who has reached his culmination. We are a student. We are in a PhD course. We are a student. Maybe one has advanced in his research for so many years now, and one boy is just entering into it. He is also sadhu. He is a PhD student. All are students. When you get PhD, then you are out. When you have deep intimacy and you are absorbed in God and nothing matters, and really you are established in full-fledged patience and love for all, no discrimination, no fear, all the characteristics has been given here, then is the perfect. But before that we are all student, advanced student. In a high school, grade school, someone is a 5th grade boy, someone is 8th grade, someone is 9th grade, someone is 10th grade, and then go up and finish the school. So this is the point. Point is that...
Then how can you get the sadhu sangha?
There are people like that. No, that sadhu sangha can get. If I am a grade 6th grade boy, I can get a sadhu sangha of 10th grade boy or 10th grade girl. Because they are much advanced than me. They can teach me something and I can learn out of them something else. Good teacher will be like Ramakrishna-like teacher. A good teacher will be good Ramakrishna-like teacher. But Ramakrishna-like teacher, if he teaches something, it will go overhead. Ramakrishna did that to touching everyone and gave that. And some people could not hold it and came back to take back. Sadhu Sangha association gave them a little touch, gave them that. Here teacher is good teacher, no? A perfected person. But when a student come, I am not saying that they are bad or anything, but that means we need that all these other characteristics to be a sadhu, you need to be a fit candidate. So all these characteristics, what is mentioned as a sadhu, we can take them as a personal practice. We like to do this. We like to inculcate in our life these characteristics of a holy man is one who is patient in all circumstances, point one. Then he is full of the fellow feeling, two. A friend of all, three. Who looks upon none as enemy, four. Who is overflowing with peace, five. Who is virtue alone has its ornament, six. Then who has a deep-rooted love for me, 9. Then characterized by the sense of inseparable intimacy. So that he works solely for my sake. Another point. He works. We work for, I am told to work this. This Swami has told me to clean this room. He has done this. You are doing work for somebody. He does not think, or she does not think that is doing for anybody, but for God only. He works solely for my sake. In his mind, that sadhu who is just aspiring sadhu or who has established, his every action is worship to God. My sake only. Abandon all dependence on relatives and clansmen performing depending on me. He always hears and speaks of my sanctifying deeds and excellences. His mind being fully given up to me, no affliction ever affects or troubles him. Ore Baba, I thought that is the point. More points are coming. Our question. 24. Such a person who are without attachment to anything except me are real sadhus. Such a person who are without attachment to anything except me, capital, they are the real sadhus. It is desirable to seek their company, O noble lady, because they are the veritable destroyer of all worldly attachments. So we should all go to find such holy people or to imbibe these characteristics of holiness. Sadhu Sangha does not mean going to the sadhu, but imbibing the sadhu characteristics. That is most important. Because where will you find sadhu? And many people go for sadhus and they fall in trap. Many stories come, no? Don't you hear? They are genuine seekers of truth, went and they got bewildered into the messy area. Because they think they are sadhus. Therefore, better to inculcate the sadhu characteristics here, each of us individually. The characteristics. If possible, holy people, but if holy people who have to find out, you will go to everywhere you search, and how do you know it is holiness? Of course, as I said in the Vaishnava idea, that it is where seeing him, if he is that much advanced, or you are a real sincere seeker, if you really go to that holy man, your mind will feel elevated, uplifted. I give you just one example, not to glorify anyone, but Swami Sahananda Maharaj, my predecessor, was here. So many devotees who are initiated by him or used to come, and Paul and Sue you have seen. So people used to go and enter his room and stay with him sometime. And when they go back, their heart is a little full. They do not know what. He may have he may have talked with something else, not very highly spiritual also. But people feel something there. Swami Sarvadevananda told him that you are leading a life of spiritual life from your childhood and you did so much practice. Your life itself will give peace to others. That means there is something generated in him. He is unconscious, but the impact is going there. As it is very simple. If you go to a person who is very evil, very negative, full of negative thoughts, you can feel the sensation in presence of that person. So it is not that you have to be worried about that. To find a sadhu means that is also another sense that they are established in that level. Anyhow, so there is one, I end here, my reading ends here on the verse number 24. We will start from the verse 25 on page 257. Okay. And now is the one question. Rupa Goswami wrote in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu that pure devotional service is free of desires other than to please the Lord. Does this mean that sincerity is the key to spiritual well-being? Yes, Rupa Goswami says that pure devotional service, whatever you do think that you are serving they concentrate on the temple. They think Lord is in the temple. In the murti is not a murti, but it is an embodiment of consciousness. It is Krishna. So you serve him thinking it is Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. You observe, and with that love you will be able to realize that bhakti. So that means it is sincerity. But we now extend this into the outside world also. He is in the shrine, but he is no less in the outside also. So in the shrine you do whatever you think. How many people think even in doing their inner shrine work? It is a work, it is a work, it is a work. How many people think when you are doing the sandal paste, wow, what a great fortune, I am doing this, it will go into the feet of the Lord, getting absorbed that, no? It is a work, work, work. That's why they are saying, think that it is you are doing for me, for God, God. And if that extends inside the temple, 24 hours one cannot be in the shrine, so they will come out in the world. They are also extended that same God you are worshipping. So that is the present day extension of Sanatana Rupa Goswami's idea. But yes, it means that sincerity is, of course, deep sincere practice is necessary for the spiritual well-being. How can an Advaitin have devotional service? That's a very important question. More so, Advaitin will do it because Advaita thinks everywhere is me. I am serving me. If I am hungry in this body, I should feed because it is I am eating. I don't feed my finger, but the food I take, it goes to the finger. If anything happens in the body, one part, people do the surgery, put medicine. Why? It's my body. So it is irrelevant whether it is in the feet or in the head, or in the back, on the leg, or on the hand or the toes. No? It is me. So the Advaita is, this whole universe as I see it is me only, in different name and form. So if it is different name and form, I need to serve everyone. That is the Advaitic. Advaitic thing, not to think of name and form, but to think the consciousness behind the name and form. That is the Shiva Jnane Jiva Seva. Advaita Vedanta is Shiva Jnane Jiva Seva. To worship Shiva in the Jiva. What do we do? We do the Jiva only, no Shiva. We don't see God, we only see the person. We say, I did so much for him. See? And what he did for me? So there is no God in between. He, me. He means that person with my mind, 24 principle we are talking about. Me means this 24 principle. I did this physically, I did this mentally, I supported this, and he didn't do that, she didn't do that. So where is God here? But a spiritual person will see, it is my blessed opportunity. I serve myself, God, the same God who is here. It's a dualistic language. Vedanta language is only one. Whatever you are breathing for others only. Your every breath is good for the other, should be. You are breathing out, these plants are surviving with that. You are inhaling, taking their love. There is greatness, there is greatness. You can see divine here and there. These are all thinking little in a deep sense, and Advaita Vedanta, and this is practical Vedanta. That's why you have to read the book which is called Practical Vedanta. There you will find that yes, every action is service to my own self. As I am breathing here, that's why that's Ramakrishna's idea. Swami Vivekananda requested Ramakrishna that also, please have some, eat. Tell your mother, you call his Ma Kali, go to mother and say that you can eat. I cannot say that, but tell for us, not for you. And then when he came back from holy Mother Kali, then he scolded Naren, you rascal, you send me to mother. Mother said, why? Are you not eating through so many mouths? So many mouths is your mouth. You have to eat through this mouth only? Advaita. You are eating through this mouth. This is my mouth. And that mouth is whose mouth? It's my mouth. In Vedantic way, you say all mouth is my mouth, all hand is my hand, all feet is my hand, my feet. Sahasra, Sirisha, Purusha, that Purusha, the consciousness, has millions and billions of head. Your head, this head, all God's head, or my head. You say my or God, M capital or God. So Vedanta is practical, and we serve everything in Vedantic way. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Sri Ram Krishna Arpanamastu. So we'll see you again when it is 7:30, and we'll do the reading the Shanti Gita. Shanti Shanti Shanti. Song of peace. Okay? Thank you.